Hello, my name is Hayden Hirschberger, and welcome to another weekly vlog. This is week 5 of my Unity training. I'm currently on Junior Essentials, or Junior Programming. This is the progress I had last week, and you will notice a difference between it and my current Trello project being there's a little less stuff done. I am done with everything. I am done with Junior Programming. But you'll see I am missing publishing your project, applying object-oriented principles, managing scene flow and data. Because when I looked at those were mostly just things I've already done, I guess, and I didn't believe they were completely necessary, as I've already spent an entire year on those with my teacher. So, I did not skip over them, I skimmed through them, picked out anything that was not the same, and there wasn't much, but still. I just want to get done with this so that I can get to, for my first, for 1 hour, uh, I just want to get done with this so I can start making my own game on the side, and also so I can get to the next certification, because user seems a bit easy, it's also free, so I feel like getting something else would be more beneficial, and that is the plan. Hopefully I get to professional. But yeah, I have done, these were the things I did last week, so it does look like I've done less this week as a result. I did have another day I missed, sadly. That might just become the normal at this rate. But I do still have a little bit to show you. So I gotta pull this up first. And I'll show you the gameplay mechanics first, I believe. I don't know, I don't remember which branches I did. I don't need these changes. That took a couple seconds. But as you can, this is my fourth project, the fourth prototype. It is the first one I will be showing you of two. This one was, admittedly, the fourth and the fifth one, they were more complicated than the first, second, or third. But it's mostly just you roll around up here, and as you can see, there's now two. There were one at first. So how this works is it has a wave mechanic where after each of these guys die or fall off the edge, they will be destroyed if they go too far. They collide with me. They chase me down, try to push me off. The power-ups, I didn't get to show you that time. I'm not very good at this game, despite being the one that made it. But yeah, they'll chase you down, but these power-ups, which are, oh, well. Here we go again. Oh. These power-ups, as you can see, knock back things quite a bit and have a little indicator that shows up on my thing. A power-up spawns per wave, so it's really just a race to get to that before they hit you, although it is inconvenient to use. Oh, and I just lost it. Here's... Oh. Oh well. Yeah, they just keep coming. Now there's 5. I don't think my odds are very good. Oh, well. I still have a chance. Not hard to trick them around. I am just playing my own game right now. Now there's 6, I'm not so sure. Oh, the power-up's right there if I get that. Oh, and now I'm dead. There is no game over screen for this, however the wave mechanic, if I show you the code, there's rotate camera, you probably saw a little bit there. The way the movement works is it's just you go forward or backwards, and you rotate the camera around the stadium, and then that's how you go in every direction. Rotate camera is relatively simple, it's just getting your horizontal input, the left and right, or the A and D. to figure out which direction it should move. Pretty simple, but the other things, I think enemy might be the second simplest. Yeah. This is just telling them get their rigid body component and find the player. This is just defining the terms up here. But they will always be moving in, like, they will look towards the player's direction at all times. That's what this first part of the code is. And this is saying they will go that direction. So they'll always chase you down. And then this is saying if they go below a y negative 10, they'll be destroyed. So if they go too low, beneath this, they'll die. Yeah, these are kind of blocks of code, though. I'll look at player controller next. Okay. So, I might be in the wrong place, I don't know. This is just defining terms, which you can see there are quite a few of. On trigger, enter, collider, or other. If, so this is saying if it collides with the power-up, has power-up, which is up here, and the boolean becomes true, it destroys the power-up, it starts the coroutine of the countdown for the power-up, and it sets the power-up indicator to true, which is this little thing right here. If I just turn it on right now, you can see it's around my guy. For some reason, whenever it's turned on, it just goes low, but whatever. You can see it regardless. On collision, enter if collision enemy. It will get the enemy's rigid body. Basically, this code is just telling them if you hit an enemy, you will be bounced back. And it will also tell you, hey, you hit something. And whether or not that is going well for you, I guess, if you have the power up or not. But yeah, it's just knocking you away. And if you have the power up strength, which is 15, and if power up is true, which I think is defined down here more, power up countdown routine is just saying you have 7 seconds to use it before it becomes false, and then the power up indicator goes false, no longer active. And update is just, it gets your W or S or your forward and backward keys and telling you to figure out which way you're going at what speed. So this is mostly just the power-ups and movement, and when you hit things. I think the most complicated will probably be in the spawn manager code. It's shorter actually than I thought, but still it has an amount. So basically, this one is just, at the start it spawns an enemy wave. It instantiates one power-up prefab, meaning it spawns one power-up with the generate spawn position code, which just means a random place on the hexagon. This function just spawns it somewhere random. Void update enemy count. It has been a second since I used this, since I saw this, so I gotta remind myself a little as well. But this is just adding to the wave number count up here. And this is saying you spawn an enemy wave equal to the wave number. So the first wave you'll spawn 1, second wave you'll spawn 2. This is what means that you spawn more as time goes on. It also spawns in a power-up prefab at a random position somewhere. And then this is just telling you this is increasing the wave number. This is increasing the wave number. This is telling you to use this function with the spawn enemy wave function being it spawns enemies equal to the wave number, which is right here. As I said, it's more complicated. Now that I think about it, it might not be all that bad compared to the other ones. Still, it's. I had a little bit of fun with this one. This one was interesting. And now I'll show you the other one. Once I pause. Alright, this is the second and the fifth project. It's currently focused on the canvas, which. Why am I not? Oh, I am going fast. That's what going fast looks like. Here's the actual project down here. I don't know why the canvas needs to be this big. I probably could shrink it without any problem. I don't know. I don't want to risk it though. Oh, actually, nothing's happening, so I guess I just gotta deal with that. But here's the actual project. That's just the stuff that shows up on the screen. So if I go up here, you can see down here at game, here's score. Over here is the title and the buttons. And down here is the actual background. This one doesn't appear to be much, but you might have an idea as to what you're supposed to do by the name. Not avoiding the copyright allegations here. I believe that is the purpose, though. Anyways, let's go in and. So, the way this one works is it was a little bit. I think this one was the most complicated. You have three choices here. You can press easy, medium, hard. They're all different buttons. They determine what's happening. If I press easy, score gets updated to 0, and this thing shows up, and I immediately lose. Whoa. Alright, I guess I had some changes I forgot to push up from the other computer I was using. Whoops. Still getting used to that, I suppose, but now that it was an easy fix, I just had to determine what the title screen was. Now if I press easy, the title screen goes away, and things start throwing up from the bottom. Don't know why it does that. Alright, hello, sorry about that. I had a commit that I had not pushed up, and so I just waited to get to the next computer, because it'd just be easier for me. But as you can see, we have the easy, medium, hard. These are difficulty buttons. If I pick easy, oh, I haven't started the game. I don't know why. Whoops. If I press easy, fruit starts to throw up in the sky. If I click the skulls, I get less points. And if one of these fruits drop, game over. Fruit stops spawning. Restart button shows up as well as the game over. If I press restart, brings me back to the screen. If I press hard, it's a little bit much. I don't think I can do that. Maybe medium? Actually, I haven't tried medium yet. Yeah, medium. Bit of a coin toss, I guess. What's worse is the objects sometimes interact with each other and do that. Anyways, the important part really would be the code. So, let's start with the targets. These include the fruits and the skulls. So, these are all the variables, and these are where they're more defined, some of them at least. And there's a few stuff. There's a few things here, but this. It is nice so that I know how I can read it. This is saying they have to get the rigid body, add force. So this is throwing them up into the air. Okay, yeah. On start, one is spawned in a random position, and they're also given random torque, so random speed. They throw up randomly, and yeah. Random force is defined down here. Return vector up dot random range min max. So they're thrown up at a random speed. They're thrown up at a random torque, a random range, so a random place down at the bottom. And when you click on them, it will destroy them, create a little explosion particle, and it will update your score. If it's bad, if it has the tag bad, which is only applied to the skull, then it gives you no. If something falls down to the ground that does not have the tag of bad, which is applied to the skull, then it's game over. So if one of the fruits fall, you lose. In the difficulty button setting, it's smaller. It gets the component saying, "Oh wow, these are buttons, cool." When you click on it, it sets the difficulty, which each button has their own difficulty, which is called in Game Manager. And it also tells you in the devlog. It doesn't have all that much. Most of the code is in Game Manager, which, once that opens, 58 lines. Some are blank, so it is using quite a few things. It has a good few variables. No void start, no void update. Void start is actually replaced with start game here, just so we can call that and make it specifically happen when we want, which is when you press the buttons. But let's see here. This is saying you spawn the targets, I believe. Yes. This spawns the targets while the game is active, so when one of the buttons is pressed, the easy, medium, or hard, game becomes active is true, which is not determined here. It's determined not here. It's here, I believe. Yeah. But yield return, new wait for seconds, spawn rate. This is just saying it will spawn. This is just spawning the targets. The variables are determined lower down, so an update score plus equals score to add, score text. Okay. So this is saying the score text box right here is equal to score. It's this plus your score at the end. And your score is added when score to add happens, which I believe is called in a different file, being the targets. Or, yeah. No. Game Manager spawns targets, so it's defined here. Yes, right here. Game over, so when game over is true, when it's called, which is called in the targets file for when something falls down, game over text shows up, the game is no longer active, and the restart button shows up. Restart game is when you click the restart game button, it just loads the scene back to the base thing, to the main menu, as you also saw. And start game with all the start game code is turns the game on, starts spawning targets, which spawn at a difficulty or spawn at a rate equal to the button. So each button has an internal value. Being an easy, it's 1. That should say 1. 2, 3. It might be because I have it open somewhere. But they all have an internal value of 1, 2, or 3. And that is, it updates score by whatever the targets are equal to, which they have their own scores they're equal to. And that's more or less everything. And that's all I really have to show you for this week. Next week I'll be working on something. We don't have funding yet, sadly, so I can't go right into Associates Programmer, but we'll see if I can get somewhere. Thank you for watching, and feel free to check out my other stuff to see what I did last week or the weeks before, and have a good day.